school grants to help invest in entrepreneurs.
Ooh, sorry.
So that way we can like get money, get a space.
My laundromat guy, he finally got that. Like, I've heard there's so many grants, especially for like black women, like just to become entrepreneurs. But just in general, like there's so many grants out there. Like they're literally just giving away free money.
No, can you explain
black women?
Me?
Who's your laundromat guy?
Oh, his name's Terrell. He works at I can't remember the name of the full laundromat name, but he's off of Blue Hills Ave.
Yo, your voice is a lot nicer through like not nicer. You have a good you have a good podcast voice.
Oh my gosh, stop.
Can we get started now?
I don't know what my question. Yeah, I'll figure it out.
You literally said it before. You were like, I thought you were gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna keep it right here.
No, this nigga was like, hey, I have a question. Yaga 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 yaga.
I thought your question was gonna be about the double standards of like bitch and nigga.
No, I don't. I try not to keep I try to keep the question separate.
Welcome back to another episode of the How'd I Get Here podcast, the podcast for positivity, progression, and double standards. It's your boy, Mr. Brown Broken Guapo, living the dream every day, another day in paradise. Fucking Black Santa over here. Fuck, nobody giggling in my ear like this. What's wrong with you?
You can sleep in bed with niggas, but you can't have a nigga giggle in your ear,
bro. That's wild. That's wild. Wow. Do y'all?
That was crazy. I'm besides myself.
I recently realized that I sleep talk still.
Okay.
And sleep text.
Whoa.
So
sleep text.
Sleep. How did you realize this? Like, how did you figure this out?
I want to know more about the sleep text.
Someone told me.
Okay.
They're gonna leave it at that.
They were watching you.
We're going to leave it at that.
So do you know you could actually have a conversation with someone who's sleep talking?
Introduce yourselves and then tell us about that.
Gang. So, you know what? You ain't a gentleman. You're not chivalrous. You're supposed to let Ashley go first. Ash Bagash is finally in front of the camera.
I made it.
Hey, slow wine.
Yo, Ash gives us all the dope notes, one-liners, and is the producer of the podcast.
Yep, you see the material.
You know what I'm saying? You see the material. You see the
You think we come up with our questions? Negative.
They do. But, I'm here to, enforce the fire. That is our podcast.
So, introduce yourself.
So my name is Ashley. Not gonna give the full name. That's governmental.
AKA Ash Bagash, BKA Ash Bagash.
Yep, AKA Ash Cash. I am the producer of How'd I Get Here podcast, and I work as an ABA therapist.
And you're in a gang.
Yep, I am in a gang.
Rap your set, cut.
I am not in a gang. No gang affiliations. But I am a part of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated.
Bless you.
It is our centennial year. Ow. So, love on the poodle a little bit. Or all the poodles. Love on the poodle.
I thought you said rub on the poodle.
How'd that make you feel? Great.
Was it soft?
We'll talk about it later.
Okay. It was soft.
Hey, yo. It's your boy Spence. Hey, yo, your boy Spence, King Aquarius, Mr. 20%. Am I 20 or 25%?
No.
You downgraded.
You're 20.
Yeah. Don't.
Mr. 20%.
Don't do that.
Been acting up.
King Petty. I wear the crown for this season.
I gave it to him. Gave it to him.
We had faith in you.
So we all believed in you. So, anything you say before I get my question off?
Is that your way of needing me to prolong? Because I got some shit.
No. I got some shit.
Oh.
But like sometimes I'll say it and you be like, wait. But we good? All right, cool.
The fact I still hurt you.
The fact I still hurt you. That's crazy.
This is true, though. I've co-signed.
All right. Question of the day.
Tell me what you think about me.
Have you ever been heartbroken?
Wow.
Yes.
Multiple times.
Multiple times?
Well, yeah, you have your first heartbreak for a few things.
Can y'all talk me through this? Because I told someone I don't think I've ever been heartbroken.
And that's because, according to if you guys go back to 2 weeks ago, Spencer said nobody's ever actually broken up with me.
So I've never, and I said, I was like, is this like relationship wise? They're like, I guess. I was like, heartbroken? But sorry, I could go.
Let me tell you, younger Jake and my recent ex said something the other day, was like,
certified lover boy,
that you, like, we were talking about something, and I was like, yeah, you know, I did see a future with you, yada yada yada, whatever. She was like, oh, I actually don't believe that, because you're a very present person. You talk about wanting to be here and so on and so forth, right? But I say all that to say, younger Jake used to be like, I would date you, right? And it's like, oh, I see a wedding, I see this, I see that, right? Whereas now I get rid of those expectations, because if it doesn't work out, I don't want to get heartbroken. So I feel like part of, you know, and it heartbroken over a job, heartbroken over a relationship, heartbroken, like there are many things. My relationship with my dad, for example, somebody told me the other day, was like, yo, I don't know why you keep getting your expectations up. You get what I'm saying? Like your hopes up. And I think heartbreak correlates with expectation. And once you master the art of detachment, which can both be good and bad, right? You kind of escape that heartbreak.
That was a bar.
You definitely hit a few good points that I liked.
So I like that. I don't like one thing that was said, though. Because you live in the present, you're all about now. That means I can't have like thoughts of the future as well that I don't tell you about.
Well, but that's the thing, right? Because as soon as you think about those future thoughts, right, you get attached.
You start manifesting.
But not just yes, but you get attached to them.
Yeah, your behavior starts. Yeah, your behavior starts to change.
I'm right, because I'm not thinking about something that I don't want.
That's not true. You don't have shitty thoughts.
I don't think he's saying that you can't have shitty thoughts, or that he is having shitty thoughts. I think it's more so like, if I see an expectation of you of like, yeah, like, you know, you the one, I'm gonna marry you, you gonna have family, all that stuff. But then later down the line, you are still in these moments of thinking that's still gonna happen, when your reality, because, you know, you're blindsided by that expectation and that love. The reality is that's not going to happen. Everything that you're doing, from your mannerisms to like just what you want to happen, it changes.
Whether you know it or not. Bro.
Yeah.
So, even you, bro.
No. Listen, I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong. I'm saying you said two key words that need to be focused on. Expectations.
Right.
You set expectations for somebody based on visions you had of yourself with them in the future. There's nothing wrong with that. It's the setting the expectation, because then when reality hits, you're like, oh shit, like you're not everything I thought you were cracked up to be, or you could be.
To your point, instead of having high expectations, I now say high hopes, low expectations.
I like that.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I actually don't expect shit from you except for you to be you.
Right.
You
and let that show you what it needs to show you.
Facts.
That's hard for a lot of people, though, just to be themselves.
Right.
But you should, though.
And that's the thing. Like, I want you to be you, because if the genuine you that you are does not mesh with the genuine me that I am, that's okay. You get what I'm saying? But I also don't want you to do stuff based off my expectations. Right? Because somebody could sit here and say like, oh, I love you, I'm going to do this for you, I'm going to do that. That's great. I appreciate it. But now you're not being you, and you're not being the person that I'm falling in love with. You're being who I want you to be.
And that's not genuine.
Okay. And that's how you get heartbroken.
Expectations.
Expectations leads to heartbreak.
In that situation, I wouldn't be the one heartbroken. They would be.
I want to get that put on the back of a shirt. Expectations lead to heartbreak.
It can.
Ooh, that's fire.
I've also heard that expectations leads to disappointment, and that's why people don't have expectations all the time.
Yeah. So maybe that's why I haven't been heartbroken.
Because your expectation?
I don't have expectations of people. I literally is like, yo, because every time I'm the type of person, my boy says that, yo, Spencer hates hype. Like, don't come to him with hype because he hates that shit.
Bro, you jumped through the fucking ceiling an hour ago.
But that was my own hype based off a situation. Like, no one brought that to me. So it's like I want to say 9 times out of 10, if something's really exciting to you and you bring it to me, I'm probably not going to be as excited for it, but I'm excited for you for having that feeling.
That's a lie. You get excited when you actually care about the person.
Aww.
No. Because when your homegirl, Ashley, is that her name?
Which one?
No, he's talking about other Ashley.
Your best friend, the one that tried to fight me at the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Pink Flamingo Co. Can we tag that?
No.
Oh, there was no note.
My bad. But no, every time you post her on your social media, that's like genuine excitement.
Yeah, that's
you get what I'm
big.
saying? Like when one of us do something, it's like, all right, that nigga's excited. Like, you genuinely care about us.
That's a fact. But like, if you came to me like, yo, you try to see this Chelsea game? Nah. But I know that's cool. It'd probably be a cool experience. Like they were talking about hockey. Apparently, a hockey game
Nobody
experience.
gets excited about.
That's not true. I just was around a bunch of colored folk too. They're like, yo, it's one of the best experiences I've ever had. I was like, a hockey game? They're like, yeah, it's the whole ambiance. It's this, it's that. I guess there's a bunch of fighting in hockey. It's like a lot of excitement.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The players fight, the fans fight. Don't mean I'm gonna be up in there.
So basically, y'all been heartbroken a lot.
Not a lot.
Not a lot, but
You said many times.
well, yeah, but it doesn't mean that's like 1,000 times.
How do
Yo, the mics
She's
pick up
young.
everything.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
y'all some old ass niggas.
Yo, you're young.
Yep. Look at it.
Insightful too.
Hello.
Yo. You might be the rebirth of fucking Lauryn Hill. That's crazy.
Wow,
Ooh,
she's
that's-
a bad bitch
that's
too.
an
Come
ultimate
on.
compliment.
Wow.
25, I never would have guessed Ashley to be 25.
How old do you think I was?
Like around us.
Yeah.
It's because I'm an only child, and I had to mature faster because I was always around adults.
That's real.
So
It does that.
I got 2 things to say. Somebody told me the other day, like, yo, you should get back to interviewing like people on how they got there for the podcast, right? Because all you talk about is relationships. Who hurt you? First of all, nobody hurt me. Shut the fuck up.
That's a lie, but keep going.
Nobody hurt me recently.
But we don't talk about just relationships. That's being so close-minded.
Thank you. Open your ears and your heart.
Those are the episodes
your
that
eyes.
person listens to.
Because they hurt.
That
I'm
look
on a,
inward.
I'm on a
Zoom
fucking
in, zoom in.
I'm on a fucking roll today. Call me the Michelin Man. Secondly,
No one called.
what's wrong with y'all? Secondly, and this is something you definitely could answer,
Okay.
right? I had like we wear cologne, perfume,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Essential oils.
whatever it is.
Come on.
And when I'm in the gym, right, I shower,
Yep.
and then I get dressed, and then I spray my cologne, bop, 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 right? Simple.
I'm sorry. Can you
That's
point
a
to
lot
those
of-
areas again,
yeah.
please?
Bop, 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 bop.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
No neck?
No, that's what the bop was.
Oh, that's the
last
top bop.
Yeah, the bop.
What you don't do like?
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there.
I'm sorry.
So then
Hit it with that.
I was right. So I'm talking to homegirl today, and I was like, "Oh, I put this cologne on. It's one of my favorites." Yeah. So she was like, "Oh, let me smell it," and she like leaned in, and she was like, "I don't smell nothing." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she was like smelling my neck area. I was like, "Fuck you mean?" Like I know I sprayed cologne. I also put deodorant on.
She was hitting on you.
So then she
You was trying to thirst trap her with the scent. That's what you
I'm
were
not
trying
toxic. Stop it. Bitch, I might be. So
to do. It's okay to smell nice with a lady.
so then she proceeded to say, she was like, yeah, you're supposed to put cologne or perfume, on your neck.
Yeah.
And then she continued to say, sometimes people put it behind their ears, on their wrist,
Yep.
behind their knees,
Yeah.
and by their ankles.
So
Hey, the ankles is a game changer.
Okay, hold on.
I've heard about the knees, not the ankles.
Okay, so you've heard about all that. What is the reasoning for people to put cologne or perfume in all those places?
Hey, now.
Because this is new. 30 years old, this is news to me.
Yeah. So I think it's relatively more of here and here and the neck area, because again, like, you know, if you hugging up somebody or if they're like coming close to you, obviously they're going to be close enough that they're going to start smelling some of those scents, like in this general area. For the knees and the ankles, I've only heard like some people say for the knees because, you know, if you never know if you're going to get a lucky night. But I'm just like, what does that have to do with your knees and like them smelling you in your knee area before all of that happens? Because like when it's on and popping, no one's going to be like, let me smell your knee, girl.
Nah, but if your knees are on my shoulder, they're right by my nose, I can smell it.
Yeah, but like at the same time too, like let's not like lie here. Like everyone's going to be a little like hot and sweaty during sex. So it's like, but the scent's already gone. It's already missed. Nah. I mean, I guess for foreplay maybe, if you want to.
Oh, have you heard this?
I've never heard the ankle, but that's revolutionary,
bro.
Look at him; he about to be able to tell
but
all
you,
his
but you've heard like the
ankles.
All of them.
You've heard the knees and everything, bro.
Crazy, I got none.
So I was like, "Yo, put me on game," because and everything Ash just explained. That's what she said. Mm-hmm. She was like, "Yeah, because when I think she was like, if you go to like give somebody head, their knees, you got to pass their knees, so you want to smell it.
Okay,
and then." For the ankles, their feet might be up here.
Interesting.
And I was just like, bruh, I've been fucking up game for 30 years. Well, not 30 years, because I didn't wear cologne for 30 years or had sex with it. But you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's wild to me that I've been missing out on this.
But did she say specifically like the knees and ankles are
bruh,
for
I could show you the text.
Well, only because I'm like,
that's an interesting point. She didn't specify.
Okay.
She just said you're supposed to because.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure it was like a generic everybody.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's fair. Like forever who is doing whatever, loving whoever, like, yeah.
Next time I link up with somebody, I'm gonna put cologne on everything and just see
what they say.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, you smell nice.
Nigga, your dick.
Yo, I gotta tell this story. Yo, so there's this comedian, his name's Daniel Sloss. Daniel Sloss, come on the podcast, that'd be dope. He was talking about how he was drunk at like a house party one time and he knew he was about to hook up with this girl. So drunk him goes to the bathroom. He's like, you know, I'm gonna go to the sink, I'm gonna freshen up. He made a joke out of that. And then he was like, all right, there's soap, but then there's also Listerine. And he was like, my sober brain was like, all right, soap's gonna do it. He's like, but Listerine's like, if she's going down there, might be a good idea. I'm not putting Listerine on my shit, bro. That sounds tingly.
So let's.
That sounds like it.
Yeah, that's.
What would you?
I would
we'll
never.
Talk about that later.
Never.
We're talking about perfume and stuff. We're on the conversation of sex, and I'm gonna try and stay out of relationships because apparently I'm heartbroken, and that's all I speak about.
I'll talk about them.
Please do. I'll dive in on it. I got some shit to say.
Sure, I'll talk about them too.
Double standards when it comes to sex, right? Mm-hmm. Let's talk about double standards today, right? First one.
Wait. When you say sex, like gender or like
woohoo?
Like, okay, got it. I bet.
Yeah.
Knocking boots.
I'm a virgin. Yeah, ain't shit. My peoples would have let me rock with that.
I didn't say nothing. I just laughed.
We don't lie.
That's
but all right, let's talk about this first double standard and just see where the conversation goes. If a man has sex with a lot of women, he's the man. But if a woman does it, she's a hoe.
I'm gonna let y'all go first because I got a saying that an OG told me about this.
What if you want to hear said OG saying?
Because I don't think it's gonna be fair to your point.
Ooh.
So you already assuming that my point's invalid, or
no?
Oh.
But I'm ears open, ready to hear it.
All right. So I think yes, just because the society we live in, there's always just a double standard alone, excuse me, with being just a woman. You know, like women are encouraged to do all these things for themselves, be as boisterous, be as eccentric, be as sexual as she wants to be. But then at the same time, too, there's always like, oh, well, why is she doing all that? Like, why is she sleeping with all these people? Like, she a hoe, she a thought, she a slut. Like, there's always this bashing at the end of it as well. So I personally do not think that, because I believe in just people being expressive in any way that they want. So if a woman wants to sleep with as many people as she wants, cool. Just be safe about it. Same with men.
I think double standards are very much a societal thing.
For sure.
But like that, right? Society will look down on a woman who has multiple partners or a lot of bodies, whatever, right? But who gives a fuck what society says? And I think in a sense, a person who carries themselves with like confidence in that I don't give a fuck attitude, that double standard doesn't really matter. Look at the Kardashians.
Yeah.
Bro, I saw this post today that Kylie Jenner has the best starting 5 and 6 man of all her exes, right? And it's like, yeah, it's a joke, but if you think about it, she's had 6 NBA players as partners.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, she's a woman who got her own, who's confident. Like, who really gives a fuck about what society is saying? Nobody's knocking her. No, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's true. But, I mean, Kim kind of paved the way for that family. It's like, what are y'all going to say about us? My sister got a whole sex tape, bro. That everybody says.
And to be fair, they're on a larger scale, so it might be not fair to...
I was going to say that, too. It's different when they're up here.
But I say all that to say, when you don't give a fuck about what people are saying, like...
Well, yes, that still stands true.
I think that's more... It's easier when you're a Kardashian.
So, I have a question for this double standard. I'll start with Ash.
Sure.
Is there a body count that you that you could hear from a potential partner that would deter you from being with them?
First of all, do you ask body count?
I used to, but now I don't.
What's your body count?
Because I think like there's just a lot of immaturity when it comes to the whole conversation about body counts, because I think at the end of the day, and this is just for me, I would want someone that's experienced in the bed.
Big facts.
So regardless of how many bodies you have, then I would hope you bring in something to the table, whatever that may be. So I do not ask body counts. Does a specific number bother me? I would say maybe just a tiny bit, because I'm just like, well, damn, like.
What's that number?
What is that number? I would say like, okay, so I'm 25. If I met another said like 25-year-old and they said like their body count was like 30. For me, I'm thinking like, okay, well, we obviously are living life at the same pace in terms of years, but I'm also just like, if I'm 25 and you're 25 and you already have 30 body counts, like there's so much more life to be living. It just kind of tells me
Wait,
like.
is 30 high or low? I'm confused.
Like for me, I would be like, damn, that's a lot of bodies for 30, because I'm just like, what? You've been really active in those, in all those bodies. Like, what's going on?
So if you heard a 30 piece, you like, nah.
I wouldn't be nah. I'll just be like, oh.
What's the nah number?
Oh, what's the nah number?
Good. Hit 30. That's all the experience I need.
About 30 people to give you some money.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I just even kind of set myself up for this now, because I feel like there's generally me saying an outrageous number. Could there be person possibly with that number? Yes, but like I feel like the same
question's
time too,
coming for you too.
I'll put it like this. I actually don't remember the last time I've asked somebody their body count. Now, I might have jokingly hinted at it to see what you had to say, but in that there's a lot to say and a lot of power, because it's like, all right, my nigga, if you didn't really care, you wouldn't be joking about it. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
This is true. People use satire to kind of slide in messages.
Right. So it's like, okay, clearly it's on your mind, right? But I don't know if that person would have said 10 versus 30. I'd have been like, oh, you nasty. You got 30. Like, you clean. You like. I cannot judge you for what you did before you got with me.
So same question to you, because I'm gonna give Ash some time to think about this number. Like, if we know, like, I'm not asking that question either, but if it just comes up and you heard your lady say a number, what's the nah number?
Not his eyes. I hope you zoomed in on that reaction,
bro. Truthfully,
there's no.
You gotta hear it first.
Like, yo.
Is it like a in that moment type
this
of thing?
Crazy
You would realize
my
like,
mom
wow.
be watching this. So it's like, how do I say? It's not about the number, right? Because if I've already been hitting it, like, mama, just skip
Mama,
to the
I
next
love
minute,
you.
right?
Hold it down.
Nah, if the shit is tight and it feels good, then it doesn't really matter for me.
The number don't matter.
I was gonna say something. I'm gonna
like-
keep it to myself.
Like your lady, your wife had 100 niggas before you.
Right, and you know, the cooch still.
So you know what?
cooching.
Hypothetically speaking, what if I got 100 bodies too? That makes her bad. So let's go back to double standards.
Yo, Jacob's
Let's-
the best at avoidance. But now we
Let's
can
no,
run
no,
with it.
but let's
I
go
mean,
back.
that's a fair
But let's
point.
go back to double standards, right?
Yeah.
I'm not by any means saying I have 100 bodies,
Yep.
right?
Sorry.
We are witnesses to that statement.
Right? But I got 100 bodies. You come to me and say I have 100 bodies, right? Damn,
200.
like, damn, I don't want to fuck with you no more. You get what I'm saying? So like, it's a number. You don't have no STDs. Your shit still right. Who cares what you did before me?
So,
I'm not judging, because if you're not judging me for having that amount of bodies, so why should I judge you?
Because you've said it on the podcast before. Y'all tell me if I'm correlating this properly. So 100 bodies isn't a kill switch for you, but you not dating a woman with a kid? What if that was 5 bodies?
Because when it comes with a kid, that's a whole nother responsibility. Now, I'll fuck somebody with a kid. I'm a motherfucker if I ever met one. You heard? Listen, ain't got
I'm a motherfucker if I ever met one.
with no shame. But
I actually like that line.
Hey, write that down. Write that down.
Yeah, producer.
I got you.
no, but I'm not gonna date it because now, and it's crazy. We were talking about having kids today early at work, but like I'm not
Wow,
ready.
Look at the universe.
I'm not ready to like. That's a lot of responsibility. Like I could barely succeed in a relationship because I can't stop being selfish.
Yep.
So now you want me to fucking care about your kid? Respect.
100 bodies not a lot of responsibility?
If I know they're cleaning, they shit still tight. No, them 100 bodies don't got nothing to do with me. It's a lot of ghosts in there, but hey, Scooby Doo, nigga. It's like,
In the words of Uncle Ruckus, whoop-de-doo to a nigga like you. That's
Wow.
but you like,
Besides
but
myself.
again, I'm not, to tie it back to double standards. I'm not going to judge a woman because she
About
has
the-
a lot of.
I respect that.
But
Yeah.
again, like if your shit's still right, and maybe that's
Okay, and you said this multiple times, so now I have to bring it up. So are you then
So if it's not
saying,
tight,
right? If
and
you're
she
saying like
dope-
she had 100 bodies and her pussy loose, like,
but she's a great person.
right,
And
but
you
her
like,
pussy's loose because you said if it's still tight.
snap that
Somebody
pussy
wants-
back.
yeah. This day is crazy.
I'm just saying this. You said it multiple times, so we had to bring it up.
So I have a question. Have y'all ever lied about your body count? I'll be the first motherfucker to say yes.
No, because I don't need to.
I strategically skirt around that motherfucker.
Tiptoeing on your marble floor.
But it's crazy because when I was younger, I used to be proud of my body count. Now I don't like
now-
bringing it up.
That's interesting.
But why?
Where's the shame coming from, sir?
Do you don't have to give? Do you know your body count?
I know the ballpark.
All right. Niggas say Yankee Stadium.
No, I know
home run.
I know the region it's between.
Region.
Do you know yours?
Interesting.
I feel like women be knowing. Like, you know what's interesting about that? Women actually feel some type about it too. Because like I've asked when I was younger, women this question, and they're like, well, and like they would say the number, it'd be like 6, and I'm like,
You're like, what was all that for?
You peasant.
yeah, like right, yeah, those are rookie numbers.
Amateur.
I get those numbers.
You play for the Yard Goats.
Damn, we can't shame a Hartford Classic.
Wow. After
So
we
cool.
just talked about Hartford greatness.
Yo, question. So let's change gears a little bit in regards to like talking about double standards and stuff, right? And definitely am trying to be politically correct and don't want to offend anybody, but let's talk about like, and I think in today's society it's a little bit different, right? But like men being gay versus like women being gay.
Sure.
Right? Like very often they say like, oh, I'll have a threesome with 2 women, or 2 women kissing is hot, but 2 men isn't. Like it's one of those things that it's like, it's the same thing. I mean, it's
it is.
You get what I'm trying to say.
And I can speak to that. So as a woman who dibble and dabbles on both sides of the court, it is generally the same. I just think that society focuses too much on what they, one, don't understand, and 2, because it doesn't make sense to them, then they feel like it's just absolutely wrong. But at the end of the day, like, no one has to explain anything to anybody about who they want to fuck, who they want to like, what they want to do with.
Ooh, I like that.
So this is the second time we've
nothing.
Yeah, just do you. Boo.
We've hit on like societal expectations. You know what I mean? So do you think that double standards are very much so society just trying to dictate that's supposed to be life?
Yeah, it's a social construct.
Yeah, because where did the standard come from?
Exactly, from nowhere.
Yeah.
0.
It's like when people, I just want a normal life. Like, what the fuck is a normal life?
Thank you. I hate when people talk about normalcy as like, that's what we're supposed to conform to, but what's normalcy?
So do y'all think that like the double standard of like, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but like gay people or whatever is more insecurity of those people that the double standard bothers? Like, oh, I see 2 men holding hand or 2 men kissing in public, versus, oh, 2 women, oh, damn, or, okay.
Yeah, because I think, again, from a patriarchal society, like, there's always that hypersexualization of women. Whatever women do, there's always some sexualness behind it. So, of course, they're going to be like, ooh, 2 women, like, bumping together, kissing, that's hot.
See, but the thing behind that, and it's almost like, I think we, like, somewhat hit on it earlier, is like, if a woman with confidence like sexualizes herself, it's like, yeah, go and definitely correct me if I'm articulating this wrong, right? But it's like, yeah, you're sexual, like the is it the Chloe, the twin,
who's twin Bailey?
Yeah, aren't they
and
twins?
Halle Bailey? No.
Oh well, you know what I'm talking about, right? The one that's been like, you know, more sexualizing herself or whatever. Some people criticize her and some don't.
Yeah, some people say she does too much, and other people just like, that's a bad bitch.
The double standard. Oh man, you know why? Because I don't like when Lizzo do it.
Interesting.
Like, I literally have a group text about this.
Wow.
How'd I Get Here podcast does support anybody that wants to sexualize themselves.
Right, in any shape, size, or fashion at that.
Why are you at, and we don't have to touch about it too much, but why are you at a Lakers game with kids that like half naked with your ass out, bro? Like, I don't know. It just seemed like a little too much in that public setting. It's kind of like when you go to a city pool and you see a girl there with a G-string bikini on. It's like,
but you know what? To that point, and we actually talked about this. There's certain, and maybe this is more of like too much focusing on women because men don't do it as much, right? But I feel like there's certain, I guess, standards or like, yo, you should step out of the house in this and you should not, right?
That's true.
Regardless of what your body's like. And I would love to talk about like body shaming as a double standard next.
Ooh.
But like,
come on now.
There's certain things that it's like, sis, whether you look like Lizzo or you look like Beyonce, sis, you came out the house in that?
And there's kids around. yeah.
Well, I mean, regardless of the kids, but no, like,
but you came out the crib like
yeah. Is that a thing of too much pride? Is that a thing of like where is your standard or moral of the sense of like
your self-consciousness of like, ooh, maybe this might be doing a little too much. Maybe I should reel it back in.
You know, maybe I shouldn't have stepped out in the bar with this thong and bra. And bro, I don't care if you're the baddest chick. Like, I'm like, yeah, that looks good. But on the same token, it's like, sis, you actually probably shouldn't have stepped out like that. Is that wrong?
I guess.
I feel like there's a fine line teetering of like, is it wrong or?
But at a bar, it is what it is. Like, you're an adult. Do what you want. You're around a bunch of other adults who are drinking. Hopefully, like, a bunch of other 21-year-olds who drinking, having a good time. I think it's just like when you're in like making a public spectacle of yourself, it's
like, do you feel like it's just attention seeking?
Yeah, it's like everyone just wants to do things to be like, I know you put that on knowing you were either going to be a meme or you were going to be a talk of the show. Like,
okay, so to Ashley's point, attention seeking, right? You did that knowing like, all right, I'm about to break necks, or people are gonna say something.
I need to be relevant because I'm a celebrity, and
But
I need my
bro,
next album.
I'm talking
to
about regular people in Hartford.
Yeah, like that
You-
guy that just walked past.
Who?
We try to be hood rich.
But you get what I'm saying? So it's like, if you are doing it for attention, like,
There you go.
is that he's working? But is that like okay? Like where do you say like, all right, bro, you doing too much, or versus like, yo, that's fire?
You know what? I think at this, like, to the point, anything you want to view as art is art. Like, beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
That's big.
interpretation.
Like, you know what? If that makes you feel good, who am I to say is wrong? As long as you're not hurting anybody. Am I? So does that mean I'm no longer? I guess my opinion doesn't really matter. I don't know.
All opinions matter, friend.
I don't know about that. All opinions matter?
Yeah, because they create dialogue. Not necessarily. I'm not saying that all opinions matter to be right or, like, in that sense. I'm just saying, like, all opinions do matter to a certain level for there to be dialogue to start conversations.
And I think you have to surround yourself with people whose opinions you value and other opinions that challenge you so that you can have that dialogue.
Yeah.
So what about
Some people's opinions I don't want to hear. Sorry, go ahead.
what about body image standards?
There's
and,
definitely
like,
a lot of double standards with that.
speak on that.
So I feel like kind of like what you're talking about before with women just kind of coming out however they want to, and is that wrong or not wrong? I feel like one of the simple ones, like in a gym, a guy can take off his shirt and, you know, he's working out. But if a girl takes off her shirt, she still has a sports bra on, then it's like, oh, ma'am, can you please put on your shirt? And that's happened to me a bunch of times at different gyms.
To put your shirt on?
I've been told to put my shirt on multiple times when I was at different gyms. I'm just like, are you going to tell that man next to me or the man behind me that they're going to need to put their shirt on? They're like, oh, no. And I was just like, okay, so then you can keep going. I'm going to finish my workout. But
That's wild.
It is wild, but I feel like in that sense, again, it goes to like that sense of the hypersexualization of like, oh, me just working out for my own benefit of my health. You are now sexualizing me being in a sports bra, so now it's inappropriate when I could just be a girl in a sports bra working out. Or a man just with no shirt on working out. But then he can also be sexualized. It's like, wow. Look at that man with no shirt on.
I think when it comes to body standards, it's, and this is not like how I feel, right? But it's what is appealing.
What society feels is appealing.
Okay, right. Because kind of like Spencer said, I'd much rather want to see Ella May at the beach in a thong than Lizzo in a thong. Society. You get what I'm saying?
That is twisting my words.
So would you not want to see Ella May in a thong at a beach?
I'd rather not at the beach. But yeah.
But it's like, why? And we've spoken about expectations, right? We've spoken about society, but like now I think when it comes to double standards, we got to talk about acceptance.
True.
You know what I mean? Why can't I accept both?
Do I need to accept it? Does it matter?
I think
yes.
some people say yes, other people say like no.
No, you need to accept it because you're the one causing the problem, right? No, not you, right?
But people who feel that way of like, oh, why do I need to accept this?
Why is Lizzo at the beach in a thong, right? Well, if it doesn't bother you, who gives a fuck?
But it, like, even if it did quote unquote bother me and I didn't speak out about it and I didn't accept it, like, who cares?
What? Obviously, then nobody knows it bothers you. But I'm talking about the people
who do
that are
up.
speaking, yeah,
like openly.
Yes.
Right. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Well, it's
but
like
you got like that's gonna. I don't think you have to accept it, because if you're that comfortable and confident in what you're doing, it shouldn't matter who's accepted, because you feel good about yourself. It makes you feel good, right? Now you have to allow the people to. If you're going to come out like that, you have to allow people to have an opinion about it.
Because you're always going to upset somebody.
Yeah. So, but if you're confident, if you're as confident as you say you are, like, why are you crying on live? Because people are making fun of you.
Okay.
I mean, that's also true. I think, they always say, like, you're not popping if you don't got haters, but
that's a fact.
I think we're still also of, like, the flesh, and we're human creatures that to some extent thrive with acceptance or want that acceptance from everybody, although it's not needed. But I think just like we're just those social creatures who want to always feel like we're being accepted by everybody. So yes, you're going to get the people who are going to cry on live about why everyone hating on me. But, that's their moment to then decide, like, am I going to still keep crying about it? I'm going to be like, fuck them.
How good did you really feel about it in the first place then?
Like, why did you go out there and...
Like, you knew you were making a bold statement. And if you didn't know, like...
So do you feel like people who do those types of things are just setting themselves up?
Yeah, I think they literally do it for entertainment, because this is meme culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my gosh, look at Lizzo.
Meme culture, like, cancellation culture.
Yeah, I'm going to upload it on TikTok. I'm upload as a reel. Oh my gosh, she's half naked. Like, you can feel however you want to feel about it. But if you came outside like that, why now after the fact? Like, you didn't think anyone wasn't gonna fuck with it?
But that's my I get what you're saying, but the double standard is it doesn't have to be that way. Do you get, like, I think we're missing that point of, like, Lizzo and LMA should be able to be on a beach together
and dress and act,
and it doesn't matter. You get what I'm saying? Like, yes, people are gonna.
So you're trying to say that people can, just stereotypically, people can look at LMA and be like, oh my gosh, she looks great in a thong bikini. And they're allowed to say that, but they're not allowed to say Lizzo does not.
That's the double standard. I feel like it should be like, oh, they're both in a thong. Okay.
Well, yeah, but I think
like,
also
who cares?
Too, like, not everyone's saying that Lizzo looks great, because some people will say, like, oh, like, why is she wearing that? Why does she?
And there's also people I'm sure think she looked fine.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, like, there's going to be both, but I think society stems more to the negative, because again, they just body shame women and just people in general, and men too sometimes, that just don't look like this cookie cut image of how people should be looking.
I agree, and I think for the for the sake of double standards, yeah, it makes sense. I just think it almost sounded naive, but I forgot we were playing devil's advocate, and I was just like, wait a minute.
Don't need no advocate.
So what do you guys think about the aspect of, like, parenting, right? And I see parents every day, and it drives me insane, but a dad does something right that he's supposed to do, and he's a great dad.
Yes.
Mom does what she's supposed to do, is, oh, mom's just being mom. Do you see the double standard there?
Yes, because
I don't know if I explained that.
No, you did. There's this expectation of that women will always hold down as just like the caregiver, the ultimate caregiver. And unfortunately, especially like in the Black community, society has always emphasized when Black fathers are not doing what they need to do, to a point where that's almost become like a trophy, when in reality, like, it should be, if both parents are doing the roles of being a parent, then both should be praised. It shouldn't get to a point now where, oh, they're finally like showing up, they're finally like dropping their kid off, they're finally actually attending different things and caring for their child, like, woo, go dad, whereas mom's accolades for always doing it day in, day out.
So essentially you're saying it should be evenly dispersed amongst the two.
It should.
But like, it's not.
It's not, and that's because of society emphasizing the negatives, because society emphasizes negatives to create, again, dialogue.
Yeah. I think hurt has more impact than positivity.
What do you mean?
Like, I think I've seen, just from observing people, I think I've seen more emotional reactions to people being hurt than to being happy.
This is true.
And I think that probably should change, because you can notice, like, sometimes you come across as people who just, like, they're always positive, and it's like, to me, it's almost like, are you really like this, or are you like, is this like a,
or is this a facade?
Yeah, is
like,
this a ruse?
Do you ever cry?
And it's interesting that I think that, as opposed to like, wow, that person's just happy about everything. Like, you appreciate everything.
Right. You look at the better side of life
Yeah.
instead of looking at it as like half full, half empty.
I'm not around people and their kids often either, so like,
So I too work with children, and my old job, I dealt a lot more with families in the home, and I saw multiple different dynamics. I think at the end of the day, there's no said rule book or cookie cut image or template to follow to be a perfect parent. I think at the end of the day, like, kids just need loving parental figures, whoever that may be, to love them and support them and teach them and allow them to grow and provide all the necessary resources that they need to survive in this world.
I was once told that all children need is unconditional love and structure.
And I think that a lot of times, kind of like Ash was speaking, on like minority parents, right? A lot of times we unfortunately see like dads of color being quote unquote deadbeats. You know what I mean? So it's like one of those things, like, again, societal expectations say this, that, and the third. Mm-hmm. So when you actually seeing a dad doing what he's supposed to do, it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's like, wow, look at you go.
Whereas it's like, you said the woman is the natural provider, but it's like, there's deadbeat moms too.
I was gonna say, but I rarely hear that.
We rarely hear it because, again, like, society's picking one thing and going with it, because we can easily just bring this back to like the Black community. How many times have you heard someone say, yeah, like, my dad ain't shit, or like, my dad was never shit, he was never around, but my mama was always there holding it down the best she could, doing her thing, versus it being the other way around. And granted, it does happen, but how many times do we realistically hear that?
Yeah, not often.
Yeah.
And I think there's just a lack of male figures, just in general.
But why is that? Can we talk about that?
It's interesting.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Because how many, like, double standard, like, how many strong, man, I'm going to get some backlash for this. How many strong, like, female figures are there compared to male?
Like, in everyday life?
Yeah.
You see him every day. In a kid's life, you see him every day.
Oh, see, I don't have that experience, like, see that I'm with adults all the time.
Think about 10-year-old Spencer.
Mm-hmm.
How did you spend your day?
10-year-old Spencer, that was 4th grade?
More or less, 4th or 5th grade.
How'd I spend my day?
You got on the school bus.
I walked to school.
So you walked to school.
Yeah. Right?
You got to school. You saw your principal, which may or may not have been a woman.
It's a gay man.
Okay. Right? Your homeroom teacher may or may not have been a woman.
4th grade, yeah.
Right?
What about your nurse? Like the nurse at the school.
Woman.
Right? Your lunch, they don't even say lunch man.
Lunch lady.
Lunch lady. And that's just someone that's nurturing, that's giving you food. So you see that as, you might not think about it, but that actually...
Oh, I guess as a kid, because that's a figure. Yeah,
because
that's
like the lunch monitors at my school were all women.
Your guidance counselors, who you may not realize, but that someone you go visit was probably a woman.
Yeah.
Right? And then there might have been one male teacher in your school outside of your gym teacher.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, granted, you played sports, so then you were probably then going to be coached by a male.
My gym teacher was actually a lesbian woman. Yeah, it was okay.
Right? Yeah. So in your whole day, aside from from leaving home to getting back home, you've seen 3 males. And I just counted 7 women that have had a positive influence. You get what I'm saying? So
I guess I wasn't thinking about it like that as a kid though. Like, I'm not thinking like,
no,
wow.
but that's subconsciously, you're not really realizing it.
But like how much respect were you giving these people as a kid?
So I think you're trying to make it more of like cause and effect, where we're saying that whether we had a full individual interaction with them or not, because they were always constantly around us, they were part of our environment.
Yeah.
So that naturally brought in the sense of looking at these ladies, whatever role they played in our lives, as like, wow, like these are really dope ladies. I still remember my lunch lady, Miss Anna. Like, she was dope. And my crossing guard, Miss Rosa.
So what do you think would be different if they were men? Structure. JK, I'm joking.
Same. Tomato.
Bro, there's I mean, they tell me all the time, like, hey, you're a man and working in the school system. That alone is powerful.
Yep.
Because you think about how many kids that just don't see their dad, male or female. You get what I'm saying? Back to what we were talking about, like deadbeats and yada, 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 right? Think about if I'm yelling at a kid versus Ashley yelling at a kid. You get what I'm saying? A kid might look at it more intimidating just coming from a man. Not saying it's right. You get what I'm saying? But there's those certain things that it's like you just don't have that male figure.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So say we swapped it out. Like all these teachers, like we switched the ratios. All male teachers and you only have 2 female teachers. What do you think the difference would be?
I think depending who the males are, there might be a lack of respect towards women, because I think, and maybe that's a double standard in itself, but by being raised around women, you learn to respect women.
But that's not for the kids.
Right. And maybe we're honing in too much on kids.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But there's always like that person that's like, oh, he has a bunch of female friends. He has all sisters. He has all aunts. Fill in the blank for the rest of the statement.
Right, because then they say like, oh, like I can tell like you were raised by a lot of women because the way like you're treating like X, Y, and Z.
Did you just jerk a ghost off?
Oh my gosh.
No,
this is a family show.
You just,
please.
You just
decorum.
Going through it.
Bro, stop. 3 times, bro.
I'm good. So you just brought up something that is a major double standard, and it's okay. So double standard for men and women. It's more acceptable for women to have male friends than men to have female friends in a relationship.
Say it again.
It's more acceptable. I think.
So like if I was dating a man
and you had male friends like me, right? Rather than Jacob
having a whole bunch of lady friends
dating a woman.
Okay.
That's insecurities. I don't want to hear.
It is a double standard, yes, because there's always being viewed as like, why you got all these like these friends around you?
Right,
for?
But
like,
you feel that way. You feel that way because you're insecure.
Yes, it comes from a place of insecurity. Yes.
That double standard is false.
Yes, because
really.
No. It is a double standard.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the validity to it is false.
Yeah.
Because you only worry about your partner's friends if you are not secure in yourself.
Yeah. And you don't have that level of trust with them. Because then you're going to think they're going to be fucking anybody.
This is true. I guess I've just heard this a lot. And I was like, oh, motherfuckers. I hope they listening. Sorry.
At whoever that is.
Yeah, at everyone.
Not everyone.
I have one last double standard, and
talk about it.
I'm just gonna say there's been a lot of self-growth.
What is that, ladies and gents? Growth.
I'll tell y'all later.
Tell the podcast.
No.
Why?
That would not be in self-growth.
This is therapeutic. Talk it out with your homies.
Before you let him forget his thought, say your thought, please.
Niggas.
Bunch of air signs.
One last double standard. If a man cries, he's weak, versus if a woman cries, she's in touch with her feelings.
I love that one every time. Y'all could go.
I live by that. Sorry. Like
I was not accepting that. I'm besides myself.
I be texting Spencer, this nigga crying again. He fucking weak.
Nah, so
That's giving toxic
that is
masculinity.
at like that has been so ingrained in me to where I found constructive ways around crying. My brother, I've told this story before.
Punched you.
My brother used to punch me in the chest and tell me to stop crying.
And that's
or I would
toxic
keep hitting-
masculinity.
And I'm
right
just
there.
like, all right. So now it's like I don't have a reason to cry. I find
So if a man
solutions.
cries, they're weak.
I resonated with that. I don't think they're weak. I think they're powerful for showing that. Far more powerful than me because I feel no need to do that. I don't find them powerful or weak. I just feel like this nigga cried. Like I don't know, but I try to make light when people cry anyways. I try to make them laugh.
So do people crying make you feel uncomfortable?
For sure.
Okay, so I can understand a little bit more then. So I will not.
Yeah, because I'm just.
I will retract the judgmental eyes.
Oh. That doesn't make y'all feel uncomfortable when someone's crying?
No, it makes me feel concerned because what is causing you to cry? And maybe again, it's because I work with children. I've worked with children for some time. So me trying to understand why someone's crying, I'm not going to feel uncomfortable by it. I'm going to say like, hey, like, do you want to talk about it? Do you need me to leave you alone right now? Like, I can come back and check on you later.
See, you're better than me because when the kids cry,
You'd be like, what you crying for?
They'll be crying for no reason.
Stop crying.
Yeah, like, because they're not crying for a reason. You've never been around a kid and you just start crying for no, because you want attention.
That's like telling somebody like if they got hurt very badly and it's hurting them and they want to express that through crying, to tell them to shut up and stop crying because you're badly hurt. That's literally what that is like.
Maybe I need to allow people to cry.
It's not that you need to allow people to cry. I think the overall gist of like going back to your double standard is we need to create spaces for everyone to feel comfortable to express whatever emotion that is.
My thing is like,
regardless of man or woman.
I always quote Shrek, better out than in, right? Let it
I
out.
thought you were going to say like, I'm an ogre and I have layers.
No.
I thought you could say this is my swamp.
I love where all our minds are at right now. This is great.
To that point, it's like better out than in, but it's like sometimes it's like I don't care who you are. I really don't want to hear you. Like stop.
So
that tells me so much
because when I'm around people who are crying, I have my same face on and I'm just analyzing like, why?
Oh, this motherfucker crying.
Why are we crying? What did I just say? What did you just think of? Are you gonna tie me into?
Are you gonna cry at your wedding?
He's not.
Probably not.
I don't see it.
Why?
I see you
I don't
cry.
Wedding. Like, there's never been the only time I cry that I know what could force me to cry is if I'm so mad and I don't have an outlet to let it out.
Oh, so you angry cry?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like other than that, like that doesn't happen.
I'm just picturing this big angry nigga like
just crying,
wanting to hit somebody
but
and just like like really.
Well, sometimes it doesn't even look like that. Like sometimes like your eyes just start literally in the act of crying.
Because he would be crying because he's a prisoner within himself.
Yeah.
Because he cannot like
write that down.
Like I'm
but that hasn't happened. Like that hasn't happened to me since I was like
16.
Child.
Since I beat that, yeah.
Longer than that. I just don't see the point. Like
of crying.
Like what is it doing for you?
It's letting you out.
It's an act of release.
You're dehydrating yourself.
This nigga.
What? All right, Bill Nye the Science Guy. Since you want to get all scientific with it,
like you,
it's
like some
literally
people
an
cry
act of
till they have a
releasing.
headache. Like,
but okay, you're making it sound like when that someone is literally forcing themselves to cry, but when you are so overwhelmed with an emotion of any sort, and all you can do is literally cry, you can't control sometimes how long you're crying for.
But does that make you feel better?
Sometimes yes, other times no. It depends on what's going on.
I just don't get it.
And that's fine.
I cry when I laugh, so like obviously the ducts work. You know what I'm saying?
Like, it's like an oil change, making sure they're still functioning over here.
It's like,
crying does not equate to weakness, whoever you are.
Nope.
No, I don't.
Makes
I'm not
you
saying that.
strong.
I'm just saying I don't. Like I genuinely, when people cry, like I dated someone who cried a lot, and I'm just like, could you walk me through like this is something I said? Like, what are you feeling right now? I always am just curious about the emotion you're feeling right now that is causing this, and why there's not a better. I can't say that it's better. It's your world.
I have so many questions for you.
Ask him.
Is it okay for a woman to cry but not a man? Or you just don't want nobody to cry?
Period.
Listen, anybody, I don't care if you cry. Yeah, let me get that straight. I don't care if you cry. Just understand I'm not going to know how to react.
Okay.
My general thing is like, bring it in. Like, I give good hugs. Like, I don't, like, what do you
And
want?
that's fair. I mean, everyone's different. Some people may want to hug. Some people might want to be left alone. Like, it all depends. And that's okay, too, if you don't know how to act in that moment when they're physically crying, because a lot of people don't always do.
So, one thing I don't understand, and maybe y'all two can enlighten me. When someone's crying. sorry. When somebody's crying and then somebody
for a group hug.
what was it? Friends on 3?
No.
Keep talking.
When somebody's crying and then another person witnesses them crying, and then they start crying.
Oh, social criers.
Can somebody explain that?
Because
I feel like that's a double standard.
You ever see somebody throw up and then want to throw up?
No.
That it's kind of like the similar properties, but it's two different acts. Y'all both like nodding. So like y'all do that? Wow. It's
bro,
sometimes
don't invite
just,
Spencer to your funeral.
What you mean? I'll give the best eulogy.
But we're not talking about eulogy. We're talking about emotion.
I'll carry you down.
This nigga will show up and yell.
Is you gonna cry for me when I'm in that box 6 feet?
No, because it's not doing you anything.
What is it doing for you?
Not crying?
Like, how you just going to release that loss and that pain?
But for me, it's not something that wants to come out.
When is the last time you felt something?
Genuinely.
Right now.
What do you feel?
Huh?
What do you feel?
Why do I feel? I feel judgment. No, I'm joking. When's the last time I feel something all the time? I am a very empathetic person.
But the sympathy part.
Yeah, you don't get sympathy. Sympathy for what?
Peasants.
Yeah, like you don't
fucking slave.
Sympathy,
Get
like
back to your field.
Like man up. There's another double standard. I'll never see anyone say woman up. Like
I say tighten the fuck up, but I don't say that to anyone who's crying.
What does that mean?
Tighten up.
Tighten what?
Just get it together.
Back to the beginning of that pussy tight. All right. Yo, this has been another fucking great episode. Ash Big Ashes, huh?
I want someone to go in the comments, explain to me the reason behind crying.
Bro, I cry.
There's no definite answer to why people cry.
What? We gotta talk.
Like, you could cry because you're sad. You could cry because you're happy. You could cry because you're nervous. Like, there's no real, like, you want always a start and end point.
Crying,
to things, and you
crying is an overflow of emotions, whether it's good or bad.
Oh, like the fuck. Like, I don't get it. Maybe.
Lost cause. We could talk about this.
I guess if y'all see me cry, like it must be real.
I can't wait till the day I see that nigga cry. But Ash Big Ash, thank you.
Yeah, this was dope.
We should do this again sometime.
Yeah.
But we need you. So you guys know how we end this thing. 15 seconds of flame. Flame. We could start with Ash Big Ash and then
ladies first. Chivalry not dead.
Is it? Oh. No. So my 15 seconds of fame is at the end of the day, you are your best version of yourself. So just do you, boo.
She's been waiting years for that.
You think so?
She had that. That was good. That was fire.
Oh, and follow me on the gram.
Today. You been waiting a long time to say that?
No.
I'm about to say she got bops, bro.
I do. We be chatting it up.
Very insightful.
Yes.
Wow, look at that. A 25-year-old with her shit together.
Fuck with me. Or don't.
I
won't lose sleep.
That part. Somebody please explain to me the full reason for crying for happiness when you're laughing, because I cry when I laugh, but I want to know the sad, the hurt, the annoyed, the frustrated, whatever else reason why you cry, because I really want to know.
Thank you to the cafeteria for hosting us.
Yes.
Bri, thank you for everything that you do. Next round's on you when you get that first paycheck, nigga.
Signing bonus.
Sad.
Leveling up.
No, this was dope. This was great. My 15 seconds of fame. Just be present with everything going on, with the year coming to an end. You don't ever want to look back and not have the memories of the times of where you were. So be present, be great, and go listen to the best fucking podcast in CT, because we taking over and it's a motherfucking rap.
I realized I didn't clap.
Yeah, that's what I was like, wait, what happened to the